Hi, this is Dr. Minkoff, LifeWorks Wellness Center. I want to talk to you today about how do you take care of your brain? How do you protect it? How do you nurture it? How do you make it so that you have a good brain for a long time, like your whole life? Because one of the biggest epidemics, it's really actually an epidemic that's going on now, is what's called premature senility or premature Alzheimer's disease. These are people who are in their 40s and 50s and they're losing their memory and they're losing function. And by the time they're 60 years old, they can't really take care of themselves. They may not be able to do their own bathroom or take a shower or feed themselves adequately or have the right judgment where they could drive or be left alone to take care of themselves. And it's at epidemic levels. There's never seen anything like this, okay? And it's worst in all the developed countries. Now, the reason for this is that our brains are under a lot of pressure and stress. Two major areas. One is the levels of toxins in the environment, which we then put on our skin or breathe or eat or drink, are at all-time high. And these are toxins, they're chemicals, they're foreign, they're not normal to the body. There's something like 80,000 new chemicals in the environment over the last 100 years. They've never been tested for safety. They get into our body and they cause a problem. And they can be toxic to the nervous system and to brain cells. So if they get in the system, we can have trouble. So I think as much as you can, try to use organic clothing, organic compounds on your skin for toothpaste and toothbrushes and hair products, because you look at a typical cosmetic, whether it's a lipstick or a skin cream or a toothpaste, and stannous fluoride that's in typical toothpaste is a neurotoxin. Fluoride is a neurotoxin. They put fluoride in our water. It is a neurotoxin. IQs of children that grow up in fluorinated water are lower than children who have water that doesn't have fluoride on it. So if you can reduce your neurotoxin load, don't package your food in plastics. Don't put artificial plastics in your body. It's all the rage now to put in implants in people, in women. You have a plastic bag that's got 140 chemicals in it, sitting in a 98.6 degree oven. Now take a water bottle, put it in a car on a Florida day at 98.6 degrees, and keep that temperature for a day, a week, a month, and measure that water for plastic residue toxins, and it will be sky high. Now what happens to the plastics in the implants? They go into your body, they poison you, and they can poison your brain. I know aesthetics is important, but this just makes no sense to me. It's not safe, it's not good, and it's a problem. Same with chemicals and pesticides on your food. If you put glyphosate or DDT or atrazine or any of these chemicals, you're eating food that's got this in it, or you're eating animals that have this in their food, which then they eat their feed and it goes into them, and then we eat them, we're going to get that stuff in us. So the more you can be organic and the more you can be clean of things that you put in your body or what you cook with, the lower the level of toxins there are that are going to be in your body. I like people to filter their drinking and shower water, because in our city, there's 500 measurable toxins in the water, including fluoride and including chloramines. Now these are there to kill bacteria, which is fine. We don't want bacteria in our water. But we also don't want those chemicals in our body because they kill stuff, they poison stuff. So you need a good filter system, a reverse osmosis for your drinking water, and a filter system for your shower so that when you shower you don't absorb this stuff. These are all things that are easy, they're not expensive, and they're just sort of points in our society now where you just have to take care. Don't let the lawn guy put chemical pesticides on your lawn, because you're going to walk out there barefoot, or your pets are out there, or your kids are out there, and they're going to get exposed. There's epidemic now of cancer in dogs and cats. Why? they're poisoned by the same stuff that we are. And they're walking around on it, and it's in their chemical foods, and it's in their water, and they have the same thing. And their lifespans are shorter, so you see the diseases earlier. So dogs which used to live 13 or 14 years now live 7 or 8 years because they get cancer or they get some chronic illness and they're poisoned and they get sick. So this is just really, toxins are a big deal, and you must take care so that when you put paint on your walls, you put paint that's not volatile. There's special paints that do this. And you can look in almost any area and say, what's the safer alternative to that? Second part of this is nurturing the body so that you have the things you need so that your body can actually do the things that it's supposed to do. You need omega-3 fats, so things like fresh wild salmon, fish oil, greens, reds. We have whole supplements for this because most people don't get it in their foods. And this is really important that you get amino acids and essential fats and vitamins and minerals. Those are the 4 things that you have to have, plus water, in order to be healthy. And I find every day people low zinc, low selenium, low amino acids, low omega-3 fats. And they come in here sick. And I say, okay, let's look at the levels of this stuff. And we looked at the levels of this stuff. And today I was sitting with a person who has chronic fatigue, and she has gastric problems, stomach problems, and she has brain fog. And she had low zinc, low selenium, low molybdenum, and she had very low omega-3 fats, and she had very low amino acids. She's super malnourished. And you can't get high performance out of a car that's missing a screw here, a bolt here, a nut here, a wheel here. It just won't function. And it's the same with our body. So we have to keep the nutrition high, and the only way to know that is to measure it, because otherwise you can't tell. So we measure nutrient levels, vitamin D, all this stuff. It's really important. And then we can say, hey, you're not getting that in. Let's give that in. Let's do it for 3 months. Let's remeasure it. Oh, now it's in right range. Oh, now I feel better. Okay? So it's get the toxins out, get the nutrition in, keep the healthy organic food, and you nurture your brain that way. The other thing that's important in this is exercise. Fresh air, exercise, and sunshine. And enough sleep. If you get those things, you should be outside moving at least a half an hour to 40 minutes every day. You can walk, you can ride your bike, you can walk your dog, you can play tennis. It doesn't matter. You want to be outside, moving, breathing, moving your body. It stimulates nerve cells. It's the thing that's the most nurturing for the brain. When you look at the research, it's motion, it's exercise. So exercise. Exercise makes new neurons grow, and old neurons make new connections. Okay? And then sleep is like way up there on the top of the list. If you're sleeping 5.5 or 6 hours a night, I did it for years, it's not enough. If you start tracking your sleep, get one of these things called an Oura Ring, O-U-R-A, OuraRing.com. You start tracking your sleep. Well, if you track your sleep, you will find that your brain works better. And I want to show you something interesting. I want to show you this because this is really interesting. 4 days ago, I did an Ironman competition. I was in motion for 14.5 hours, okay, outside working. I swam about 3 miles in the ocean, and I rode my bike 112 miles, and I ran 13 miles, okay? It's only 4 days ago. Now, I pay attention to all these things I'm telling you about because they're really important. And if you pay attention to them, what you'll find is that your body will work and react way better than it would otherwise. I'm 72 years old. That's a lot for somebody my age, okay? There's very few people in the world that could even do that. And I track my sleep, okay? And on this ring, if you look at this, last night my sleep was 87. The score was 87. Above 70 is good, above 80 is optimal. So I got an 87. Now it looked at how long I slept, which was 7 hours and 44 minutes. Of that, I actually slept 6 hours and 40 minutes. 86% of the time I was sleeping. And it looked at my REM sleep and my deep sleep, and it gave me green on all. So 87 is really good. It also told me how recovered was I, how ready was my body, my immune system for action, for more stress. It's like, how recovered was I from the stress of the prior days? And only 4 days ago, I had a big stress, okay? And last night, if you could see this, my score when I woke up this morning is 93. Now that is really good out of 100. And my body had fully recovered from that insult because I paid attention to sleep and how much exercise and my nutrition and my avoidance of toxicity. And it keeps my body able to function at a very high level, which is what I want, because that's what health is. It's high function. I don't take any prescription medications. I don't need any. And my body works like it's 30 years old. And that's what you want when you're 72. So if you want that, you have to start doing these things now so that as you get older, you have protected yourself and you have insured yourself, and you could live a long, healthy life where you can produce and you can have fun and you can enjoy. Okay? Hope this helps.